The 60th edition of the Labor Day in Kenya is being marked amid economic constraints. Workers have registered mixed reactions with regards to the labor environment. There is constant layoff of workers, there is job insecurity, there is a continuous demand of pay rise. And of course, where does that leave the country? Because the employers themselves, they are complaining about the status of the economy, such that now doesn't warrant an increase of, or that's salary increase or pay rise. But then on the other side, the workers are also continually demanding for pay rise. So that is some sort of a catch-22 catch-of situation. But then we are joining, if the listeners, the audience, audience watching us right now, we are bringing in this announcement to you from the lakeside city of Kisumu, and you can see behind me, I believe my colleague behind the camera, that is Martin Kivuti, can basically pan to show you this is Oginga Odinga, the intersection point between Oginga Odinga Street and the Jomo Kenyatta Highway, and this is the day that is typically meant for Kenyans to rest and reflect on their efforts even as they contribute to the development of the country. But then you can see there is some sort of movement, people going about their businesses as it is just any other day. And before I delve much into what's happening in Kisumu today, I'm joined by two gentlemen. One is Chris Owala from the civil society, and of course Steve Wanda from is a youth actually who's engaged a lot in the digital economy, the content creation that is now becoming more popular among the youth. I will start with you, Chris. You look into the camera and tell us, this is a day that is meant to celebrate the efforts of workers towards the progressive development of the country. So is it a celebration or is it a marking Labor Day, in your opinion?
Thanks a lot, Wycliffe. I think Kenyans are marking the Labor Day because there are no gains that labor rights movement can attest to. If you look at the history of labor movement in this country, if you look at the late Tom Mboya, look at the people who fought for labor movement, I think if they are risen from the dead today, they'll die again because there's nothing to celebrate. If you look at labor now is seen as a punishment for workers, but not as something that come with dignity. Because today you see a lot of people on the street, people are protesting every now and again. There's condition for work, it's not good. And many a times, salary don't come in the right time. The working condition is not good for all workers, even the government workers that used to be good, that could be paid in the right time, they are no longer paid in the right time. Even workman compensation is a bigger issue in the labor movement. Even in people working in industries. Kenya is a signatory to what we call business and human rights. This business and human rights component is not explored. If you look at people working in these hoteliers, the way they are being treated, you see, you work more than 8 hours without lunch break, and the enforcement mechanism is not there. If you look at the people working for the Asian community, you see that somebody keeps your ID. Somebody holds your ID. So you are like a prisoner. So that's why I'm saying the work conditions should not be a punishment. Working should be done with dignity. And the policies the government are putting in place, even the issue of taxation, is keep on making companies close so that people don't get jobs. And you see, you can see a lot of young people in the street. And you see the government has not lived to the expectations.
And just on that very point, Chris, I would want to because we are always looking for solutions, how things can be done in the best way to ensure that the country moves on progressively and as a whole, as together. And on that bit, what do you think should be done by the employers themselves or even the government to create that conducive environment, not just for workers, but even for the employers themselves?
One thing that the government needs to do is deal with the issue of taxation. Because when you tax people to the extent that they are bleeding, you get many companies are leaving the country. And if you give a tax rebate, you will attract investors and they will invest and they will create employment for other people. If you reduce corruption, because corruption is taking a bigger chunk of our resources, because when money is stolen, the money that can be used to pay many people, then meaning that employment is not there. And when you steal, I remember quickly, Kenya has been grey listed the other day. You know what grey listed means? Grey listing means that people want to invest in Kenya, who are prudent, who want to make sure that the money is used well, will fear Kenya. So meaning that the number of international companies that will want to invest in Kenya will reduce.
Is that what we call capital flight?
It might not be capital flight, but grey listing means that even the banks, the way the money, you can call money laundering as component. If it's on the rise, then meaning that the way you deal, your transaction cannot be clear, and this means that there are heavy level of corruption, which means the government has not dealt with. And if you are grey-listed and you have not made a step to come out of it, it means that the very few people will want to invest in Kenya. And this is where the problem is. And when they don't invest, you can't create employment. And when the taxation is very high, then those companies are closing. And when those companies are closed, that means there's no employment for young people.
So, simply put, you're suggesting that the taxation regime or the taxation framework should be looked into to allow the employers employ more, create more opportunities, and also increase the uptake of more employees.
Great, because if you reduce tax, you spread it, and you so don't reduce corruption, then that will also make the economic growth. You see, the economic growth we are talking about is for the few. But if you broaden the taxes, so you tax less, then more people be in the market. But now the taxation is punitive. So it's pushing people out of the market. So you see, somebody want to invest in East Africa, they might move to Uganda. If you look at farming, also people who goes to farming, you tax them. So meaning that as we approach the finance bill that is being tabled now in the parliament, we need to look at to what extent is the finance bill going to create employment, or to what extent is the finance bill going to inhibit employment. So these policies, the government must be serious with them. But if the government is not serious, if the government commitment does not match what they do, then the unemployment rate will be on the rise, and the government policy will not be helping the Kenyans. Because even if you go to labor office for now, if you have a labor issue in this town or anywhere, you will never get justice, because the labor officers are appendix of the people that are frustrating the employers.
Your point is home. It's about looking to the taxation and also reducing all the corruption, sealing the corruption loopholes. That is very well. Wakungu, that is just one voice from Chris Owala. He's from the Civil Society and understands the working conditions of workers, of course, and all those that goes into policies that create an enabling environment for the workers, not just for the workers alone, but also for the creators of employment opportunities. That is, we are talking about the employers. And before I hand it back to you at Uhuru Gardens, Wahungu, I'll just engage one more gentleman here. Is called Steve Wanda. He's a youth, like I mentioned. He is more engaged in content creation or the digital economy, because that is now where the world, the work, there is the paradigm shift, and now that's becoming the news center. Steve, look into the camera. Tell us, this day, we are marking Labor Day, yes. Where does that put the youth? Is this a day to look forward to?
Thank you, Chris. I'm Steve Wanda, a community resource person in Kisumu. Chris, I'll say that if you look at
Wycliffe.
If you look at the population of Kenya now, 70% of the population is consisting of young people, and a little bit half of that percentage are employed young people with skills. And every day, young people are released from universities and technical institutions with skills, but then getting formal employment is a very difficult problem. So I'll say that this day we're being celebrating today has no any effect or change to young person, because young person today is looking for what he will eat today and what he'll eat tomorrow and what he'll eat in the coming future. So we are having a lot of young people who are not even interested in celebrating this day, because they want to be busy in what will sustain them.
And in that case, let me just stop you. But then, now, what should be done to bring up in the new people also to partake in government activities like marking this day, so that they can also feel part of the country? We know that there is a high rate. The rate of unemployment, especially among the youth, continues to rise because there is a high number of university graduates that are being churned out there annually. But then, what policies would you want to see being put in place by the government to ensure that the youth also create for themselves an employment opportunity, rather?
Yeah, if you look at, I'll say that if you start from counties, a lot of counties have the youth policies, and most of these youth policies are there lying on shelf. They are not being implemented. The national government also has policies. And these policies, a lot of young people are not aware of these policies. That is why you'll get that a lot of young people are not even interested in what county or national government is doing. That is why you see them, that the revolution of Gen Z has also given young people that if we give our voice out, then everything can be implemented for us. So I'll say that a lot of young graduates that are released into job market, a lot of them, you'll not get them in formal job market. So a lot of them are going to informal job market, where the labor that is also there is not conducive for them. Then you'll also get that they're also looking for other opportunities that are there. That is why you see a lot of young people coming into content creation, because they are now able to be employed. They are now able to be self-employed.
Is that where their labor skills are being put into test maximally?
Yeah, a lot of young people are now into research, because they believe that the opportunity is not there. But now the opportunity and the globalization that is now coming out, and the technology adjustment that is now coming out, it's moving young people from maybe what they studied to now what the job market wants. So a lot of young people now are much interested in either becoming freelancers, coming into online job opportunity. But most of what young people are now experiencing is that the infrastructure is not there. So if you walk around, you'll get even in county government. Currently, the national government is trying to realign CDF projects, where they are now introducing ICT hubs to be constructed in constituency and also in county level. County is also doing the same. But if you look at these halls are being constructed as resource facilities for young people to get job opportunity. But all these facilities are like halls. Some have been turned to churches for praying institutions. So young people are not getting opportunity to utilize those facilities because they are under equipment, and also they are underutilized because the capacity building and sensitize the young people to utilize these facilities is also not there.
Even as we wind this up, the digital economy, just like you've mentioned, content creation, now that is the new frontier for self-employment, especially for the youth. Use this opportunity to pose a challenge or rather make a communication to the youth with regards to the labor shift from the formal employment into the informal or freelancing, as you've mentioned it.
Yes. So Chris, I'll say that Wycliffe, sorry. A lot of us young people believe that self-employment is the best employment now in this world, in this Kenya that we live in. So being self-employed and also getting into digital market and also becoming a content creator, because you are also able to also oversight government through online, not only coming out and demonstrating for what is happening, but you are able to give a true story and a picture of what is happening in every institution, and also how resources are being utilized, and also now creating awareness and bringing young people that there is opportunity in online market. You'll also become freelancer, like what I've said. You can also look at these businesses that young people are doing, or businesses that people have opened in Kisumu. Not only coming out to mobilize customers to come, but you can also go there as a content creator, a young person, to market business that is there. Because now, currently, because of economic situation that we are in, young people are not going to these shops that you walk in, like what people are used to do, that you walk in and you in the shop and go. But now, things are now moving online, where a shop can be opened down there in Dunga, and you can get a young people employed to market what is being happened. There are a lot of opportunity coming on into this issue. You should not just wait as a young person. You wait for the white-collar job that is not there.
Wise word there. Wise message there. Thank you so much, Steve. Wahungu, those are some of the voices from the Lakeside City